Hello, and welcome back to Weekend Cartoon Reviews. This time, we're reviewing Despicable Me 4. Despicable Me 4 is the newest Illumination movie, and one I was not surprised by existing. Meaning, I expected a fourth one, seeing how much money all the previous entries in the franchise made. If this one does well, I'll expect even more, because this is fucking Illumination! They generate hits in terms of money, and then milk it to death. These minions are very marketable after all, so let's rip this thing apart, shall we? I wasn't surprised by Despicable Me 4, like I said, and I know I've said that 3 times. However, I was also a bit apathetic to the announcement of the movie. Though I'm sure even if I wasn't into animation, like I have been for years, I would have still seen this movie, because of the fact I saw every other Despicable Me-related film in theaters. And to a lesser extent, every Illumination movie in theaters. You can offer your condolences in the comments section. Let's go ahead and talk about what I thought of the previous movies. I'll exempt both the Minions movies from this since this video would drag on if I did. The first Despicable Me is one of the best animated movies out there. It was funny, it was unique, and I loved its story. Gru was once a villain on a path of redemption ever since he adopted the Goyles. He initially used them in his schemes to get back at another villain named Vector, and Gru's ultimate goal as a villain was to steal the moon. Watching this arc throughout this movie feels unique, and while other movies like Megamind and The Bad Guys have done the same thing, it does enough to stand out. This was also when people thought the Minions were funny, myself included. Despicable Me 2 was also pretty good, giving Gru a new mission and a wife to take down some villain named El Macho, who was said to fake his death. It wasn't nearly as good as 1, but 2 was just a lot of fun to watch. Now here's the part where I say I don't like 3. It's not one of the worst movies in the world. It's still watchable, and I wouldn't care if someone turned it on and I had to sit through it. Drew was annoying as all hell and pretty selfish, even though I wanted... he wants to become a villain just like his brother Gru. Yeah, that's his whole thing. Gru tries telling him, no, I don't want to be a villain anymore. And he's... yeah. Gru is tasked with catching Balthazar Bratt, former 80s star, voiced by Trey Parker, who is the AVL's most wanted. I'm not gonna lie here, Trey Parker carried this movie, and that's why I don't mind watching it. Because of him. Congratulations, Despicable Me 3! The characters are still likable, as well, and there's some good moments sprinkled in there, but it's really the worst one of these movies anyway. Worst movie of all time? Absolutely not. So... with all that out of the way, what did I think of the 4th installment in the mainline franchise and 6th installment overall? That was just... painfully okay. Look, I don't hate this one like a lot of people seem to, and I'm not gonna lie, it looked like it'd be a fun time, but Illumination always makes good trailers, so I was cautiously optimistic that there would be some fun here. And there is! The movie still does excel in its comedy, but that gets shattered here when its comedy doesn't have substance and its story is scattershot. Seriously, there's like 6 plots in this thing, so if I'm talking like I'm all over the place, you know why. I'll try and put them all together for you right now. Gru wants to bond with his son more, but his son is a pain in the ass. Gru's old high school rival breaks out of jail and wants revenge on Gru. The neighbor and Gru go on a mission to steal a school's mascot. Lucy becomes a hairstylist and fucks up. The AVL experiments on the Minions and they become superheroes. Gru wants to bond with the neighbors and not be awkward in front of everyone. Yeah, this movie has a lot. I know. And there are bits like the girls going to karate that unfortunately get sidelined and only have like 1 scene of them, because we need the story to keep going, don't we? Will Ferrell villain was funny though, despite also being boring. His performance at the very least was entertaining. Now I'll try and talk about the story more. So, let's try and talk about this cohesively. Oh god, this is gonna be hard. Gru and Lucy have a new baby named Gru Jr. Wow, creative name, guys. Y'all couldn't have come up with something better. Or at the very least, if you were gonna call him Gru Jr., give him, I don't know, a long nose! Anyways, throughout the movie, Gru is taking this little man on his adventures, and they get into Despicable Me hijinks. Yeah, you get the idea here. I'm struggling to think of things to say while writing this review, because everything is so scattershot, it's hard to keep up with every plot line the movie throws at you. When Will Ferrell villain escapes jail, the AVL informs Gru and his family that they have to go through witness protection, because he is going after them and have to take on new lives. which leads to the Goyles going to karate, Lucy being a hairstylist and fucking up at it, Gru being an energy salesman and trying to fit in with everyone. Now, I think you've noticed I've neglected to mention the minions at all yet, since all they do is become superheroes and aren't present a lot in the movie. Like, holy shit, they marketed these superhero minions a lot, and they only appear in like 2 or 3 scenes in the entirety of the movie. They just show up and remind the audience, oh yeah, they're here. So then sometime in the movie, Gru is blackmailed and goes on a heist with the neighbors' kid to steal the school's mascot that Gru and the villains went to. God, this movie made it look so much more fun in the trailer. And it's alright here. It was one of my favorite bits of the movie. That in the gas station scene. There are more laughs here and there, but overall, I think it's time to put this franchise to rest. Illumination, just put it out of its misery. I've watched a lot of reviews on this movie, and I feel like I just tread the same points made in everyone else's reviews. So yeah, that'll be all for today's review, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you all on the next review. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.